This is football.
Football!
Where football means football.
Are you ready for some football?
People got the popcorn. Let's give them a show. Let's do it.
You think football is still fun?
Yes.
That's a really lame fantasy. You gotta start watching more porno.
This is the Alan Thicke's League of Gentlemen podcast. Week 8 preview.
Yes, indeed, this is your Week 8 preview. I'm Bob Costco, and my hair is made of wood.
And now, our feature presentation. Go!
T-Boner
You got a boner!
versus Weathers Warriors.
Our feature matchup of the week sees the 5-2 T-Boner take on the 5-2 Weathers Warriors. Both teams currently stand second in their divisions. It should be interesting to note that T-Boner will be starting Michael Vick at quarterback this week, a player originally drafted by the Warriors. And the Warriors will need a little bit of help as their star wide receiver AJ Green will be on the bench. They need Megatron to step it up. Calvin Johnson coming off his worst performance of the year, a meager 3 points against the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bear football defense is playing hard, getting turnovers, making some big hits.
Our second matchup features 85's Not Scared to Decker taking on Mark Lavell's Vandalay Industries.
Did you mention my name?
Yes, I mentioned your name.
The headline going into this one is that these two teams recently made a major transaction, Hadley sending his running back Michael Turner to Lavelle in exchange for his wide receiver Vincent Jackson. Jackson last week scored 30 points, leading Decker to victory. We will see who won the trade perhaps after this week.
Hey, what up? This Antonio Cromartie. You listening to the Alan Thicke's League of Gentlemen podcast. Vegas odds makers. Versus Lolo, and the Bunnymen.
Both of these teams are coming off matchups that went down to the wire last week. The odds makers came out in top on their matchup where the Bunnymen lost by a single point. Both teams are desperate to keep their playoff hopes alive, as both teams are on the outside looking in. The odds makers have been led the last 2 weeks by Jordy Nelson. Yes, that Jordy Nelson.
Kiss my firm white ass.
Who has scored 50 points over these past 2 weeks.
Oh, God. What's next?
The Everton Decepticons slipped from first in the Kyle Orton division all the way to third after a tough loss last week. They will look to rebound against a team currently ranked last in the league, the Tom Landry MS Longhorns, a candidate for worst name in the league as well.
Too far.
Both of these teams are looking for big games from their quarterbacks, Everton, who has Peyton Manning back off of bye, and Tom Landry, who is starting Drew Brees. If you don't believe me, listen to our Deion Sanders.
Both of these teams, I love their quarterbacks. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning.
Thanks, Deion. It's not all doom and gloom for the Longhorns. They do have two of the best quarterbacks in the league with Drew Brees and Robert Griffin III.
That's good.
Alas, they do have the worst record in the league.
That's bad.
Although you could note that Vernon Davis has had a strong year.
That's good.
But last week they started Joique Bell at running back. That's bad.
40-year-old virgin.
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Versus the Rodney Dangerfields.
Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh?
40-year-old Virgin are coming off their first loss in 4 weeks, but they are 44-point favorites going into this matchup against Brett White's Rodney Dangerfields, who were destroyed last week in their matchup with Vandalay Industries after owner Brett White failed to adjust his lineup. And our Ewan Thomas sat down with the Dangerfields owner to ask him what has led to his struggles this season.
I have a very small penis. It's literally concave.
Well, that is most unfortunate. Well, that's all for this week's preview. Join us next week when we sacrifice a live goat, and we'll be joined by actor Matthew Fox.
You know what's interesting about him?
What?
Nothing.
I'm Bob Costco, and that's all for your Week 8 preview of the Alan Thicke's League of Gentlemen.